All right, so I'm going to walk you through the exploration database activity. So your TA should have given you a thumb drive. So when you put that into your computer, you need to open your file directory. And for me, I get there through this little symbol here. And you should see on the left side here that your USB thumb drive has shown up, and it should be in an E drive. So if it's not in an E drive, have your TA help you change the disk drive to E, because it's really important to be able to see the pictures. Okay, if it is an E, then you can click on the UWIN folder and open up the exploration database, and then open the exploration database access file. So this will open up, and the very first thing you'll see is a switchboard. The switchboard is an interactive tool to get you to different modules. If you accidentally get out of here for any reason, you can get back to it by looking under this forms and finding the switchboard. Double-clicking on that again, and your switchboard will come back up. So the first thing that we're going to have you do is have you explore some of the photos. So we're going to open up the View Photos module, and this will open up the photo viewer. So in here, you can see these little thumbnails of the pictures on the left here, and you can click on one and scroll through using your arrows, up and down arrows. And whatever picture is selected is shown in the middle here, blown up for you. And in this middle part, you can see some information about the photo. They are named by location, season, year, and photo number. So up here, these are called Denver, Colorado. This is on the east transect of Colfax, the third section, Generals Park, in January of 2017, and this is the fourth picture that was taken. And you can also see the temperature that was that the camera recorded, and also the date and time here in the bottom right. You can also see some of that information in the bottom right here under image data, and there's also what that picture had been tagged with. So what I encourage you guys to do is to kind of cover up this area and scroll through the pictures and see if you can find and identify the animal or not that's in the photo, and you can double check with the information down here. So it's just kind of fun. Another thing about the photo viewer is you should be able to see the total number of photos down here, but you can also see it up here in this filters. So there's three basic type of filters that you can do. The first one is location, and you can filter the photos by different locations. Now, this is a very small database with only 234 pictures in it. When you get to the database later on in the semester, they will have all 40 of the locations listed here. But for now, we're just going to get used to the database and kind of see what features it has. So you could filter by location. You can also filter by species. And if you open up this little down arrow, you can see all of the species and how many photos of each species was tagged. And you can also filter it by date and time. So in here, if you're interested in a specific day or a range of dates, you can do that. For instance, if I just kind of randomly filter by date, you can see before this date and time, there are 7 photos. And something to note about the filters is if you do have something selected here and you go to a different filter, it keeps that same filter that you already did. So you could filter by date and time first, and then you could filter by, the different species, or you can just see how many were there during that time, or you could go see, what location they were. And of course here, they're all in the same location. But if you need to clear those filters in between different things that you're interested in, you do need to hit this clear filters, and that gets you back to the starting point of all the photos available. Okay, so in the database worksheet, you're going to work through and look at these photos, try and identify numbers of photos, our date and time range, and try and identify some of those species on your own. Then we'll have you calculate an occupancy query as well. So when you're ready for that point, the worksheet does have you go to and set up a Google Sheet first. So if you can just leave this open, go online, and find that shared folder that your TA shared with you. Which should be this UWIN occupancy sheets, and there is an example in there, but in there you'll make your own. So you're going to hit New, Google Sheet, Create and Share, and then you'll name your sheet how it says on your worksheet. And I believe that is the species, the semester and year that you're in, and you and your partner's names. And I'm Sarah. And Carlos is helping me. So now I have this all set up and ready. So now I can go back to the database and I can X out of here and the switchboard will come back up. And I'm going to go down to Export Data for Analysis. Click that. And then I'm going to do the occupancy option. And here, since I decided on Red Fox, I'm going to select that. I'm going to deselect the two observers. And then I'm going to change my interval option. So I'm interested in daily use of Red Fox in my area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change this to 28 days because the cameras should have been out for 4 weeks at a time. So that's 28 days. And then I'm interested in daily. So I'm going to do 1 day. So I'm going to update results. Now I'm going to get this results preview over here. Now again, later on in the semester, you'll have all 40 locations for this one species here. So in here, you can select all of these, and it's really easy to do that if you just select this little upper left box right here. It just selects all the cells that have something in them, and then you can Control C to copy, or you can hover over it and right click and copy there. Okay, now we'll go back to our Google Sheet. I'll go to this first cell and I'll Control V, or I can right click and paste. Now that will paste everything that you just copied into here. So now we can look at the data a little better. And what I'm interested in is the percent of daily use of red foxes in this area. So I'm going to scroll all the way down to my last occasion, so my 28th day. And I'm not really that interested in these, but what I want to do is add a column. So I'm going to select this column, and then I'm going to insert a column to the left. So now I have a fresh column here, and I'm going to name this percent used, because this is going to be the percent that red foxes used this area during that month. Okay, so now I'm going to calculate a percentage. How I'm going to do that is I'm going to do equal average, and then you have to put the parentheses sign. So when you put the parentheses sign, it knows that you're going to try and select some cells. So I'm going to scroll all the way back over to my occasion 1. I'm going to select that, and I'm going to scroll all the way over to my last day, occasion 28, and unclick. And then I'm going to put another parentheses, and then I'm going to put the asterisk for times 100 and enter. And that will give us a percentage of red foxes that used that area for that 28 days. And then you will use that for the species that was requested of you on your worksheet. Enter your worksheet, and you'll need that to complete your post lab. I think that's it. When you are done playing with the database, you can exit out of here. You can hit quit, or you can hit the X and the X, and then you're all done. And then you can take out your thumb drive and return it to your TA.